sunshines all of you. I hope everyone's doing okay. So as you can see from the title, I am going to be doing a video all about my medications, and what I mean by this, I'm going to be saying what side effects I experienced and basically what I thought of each medication that I've tried. So I've only ever tried 4 different medications, but I thought if I could help some people out when they try these medications out, and hopefully I can give you a bit of a knowledge before you try those medications if your team want you to try these. But yeah, let's get on with the video. So the first medication that I'm going to be talking about is mirtazapine. So mirtazapine is an antidepressant, and for me personally, I feel like mirtazapine helped me sleep, as it's a sedation medication, so it makes you quite drowsy and like you do feel quite tired after you've taken it. I was put on this because it increases your appetite. I found when I first started mirtazapine that the first couple of weeks I was very hungry, I was constantly eating, and yeah, I was just having extreme hunger basically. But I found out that the lower the dose, the more it increases your appetite. So I'm on the maximum dose of mirtazapine, so I'm on 45 milligrams, and it doesn't really increase my appetite as much anymore because I feel like that's kind of worn off, because I've been on this medication for like, oh my god, it must be a year now. It must be over a year or just a year. So, but the medication, I felt like when I first started taking it, it did make me feel quite agitated, and I did feel like quite spaced out when I first started it because it made me quite manic and quite hyper, but I think it's because I was just getting used to it and my body was just realising that there's a new medication in my body. But overall, like, the mirtazapine really helps me because it helped increase my appetite, because when I was really bad at my eating disorder, anorexia, obviously I was barely eating, but I kind of accepted it because the mirtazapine helped my mood a bit, and it helps me sleep and it helps me eat. So even though I hated the weight gain at first, but looking back now, it was probably the best thing. So that is the mirtazapine. The next medication that I'm still on is FLUOXETINE, and I am on 40 milligrams, but at first I was on 20 milligrams. So it got upped last year in November time, I think. So FLUOXETINE is the same as Prozac, which is an antidepressant. What I found from FLUOXETINE is that when I first started it, like, it made me feel so numb and I wasn't able to cry or express myself, and that's something which I really struggled with because I'm quite an expressive person, so I like to show my emotions. But when I was on FLUOXETINE for the first like month or so, like, I was unable to cry and express myself. Even though I was feeling low, I wasn't able to cry or express myself, and that's what annoyed me the most about being on FLUOXETINE. But it has worn off now because I'm obviously crying all the time now. But that's something which I really found hard because I thought people wouldn't take me seriously, because if I say that I'm down and if I'm not going to be able to get upset, then I feel like people wouldn't be able to believe me. I also, when I first started FLUOXETINE, I actually had a few nosebleeds when I first started it, and I never ever get nosebleeds. But it was only like a couple, so it wasn't anything serious. But they obviously worn off. I think it was just like a little side effect, but that's about it. When my FLUOXETINE got upped to 40 milligrams, I did notice a side effect of blurred vision. So my vision was starting to get more blurry, and then I had to go see the ophthalmologist, or whatever you want to call them, the ones who look at the eyes. I don't know. And yeah, so I did experience some sort of blurred vision, and that is common. I think that's 1 in 10 people experience blurred vision in FLUOXETINE. Even though the ophthalmologist said that it's not to do with my medication, but when my FLUOXETINE got up, that's when I noticed my blurred vision started getting worse. So I don't know really. It might not be the medication, but that's what I found personally. So yeah, that's the FLUOXETINE. I have been on FLUOXETINE for over a year now, the same as mirtazapine, and I feel like they both sort of help me Like, I know they're both antidepressants, but they both help me in their own different ways, if that makes sense. The next medication that I tried was QUETIAPINE. And this is an antipsychotic, and I was only on this for like a couple of weeks because I didn't get on with this medication. It made me feel so drowsy, and I had to take it in the mornings, and because I drive, I wasn't able to function, and because it made me feel so sleepy. So I don't know why I didn't take it at night time, because that would have worked better for me, but I got told to take it in the mornings. But I don't know how that's going to work, because I won't be able to function throughout the whole day if it's going to make me feel drowsy. I was only on 25 milligrams of QUETIAPINE because I only was on it for like a couple of weeks. But because of the drowsiness and because like I drive and stuff, I asked to come off it, and that's when they put me on MIRTAZAPINE, and that's what has worked for me. So I found the QUETIAPINE didn't work for me because it just made me feel very drowsy and I wasn't able to function. Yeah, so I don't really have much to say about QUETIAPINE because I was only on that for like a couple of weeks. Like I may have just needed to like just get used to it, and maybe me feeling drowsy would have worn off, but because it made me feel so tired and it just made me feel awful. The next medication that I tried and that I'm still on is ARIPIPRAZOLE, and that medication is an antipsychotic. I have been on it for nearly 2 months now. I'm only on 5 milligrams of it, and it's an antipsychotic which helps people with bipolar disorder and depression. However, I've got a personality disorder, so that's why they've used it for that as well, and obviously I've got depression. They gave me that because I've got depression and EUPD. When I first started it, oh my god, it was awful. Like, this was so recent. Like, I remember, like, it made me feel so agitated, and like I wasn't able to keep still. So like I wouldn't be able to film like a video for you guys right now if I was just starting it, because it made me feel so agitated and I wasn't able to keep still. So it made me feel quite manic. So I was on a high, and like I was just so full of energy that I just couldn't keep still. And for the first couple of weeks, it did make my anxiety really bad. Like, I was very anxious to do like the simple things. So filming for you guys, it made me feel very anxious, and I wasn't able to film videos because it made my anxiety really bad. And I don't get anxious filming videos, but even now, like, it's not as bad as it was, but even now, like, I am very anxious to film, and I have never been anxious to film. So that's how I know it's the aripiprazole that makes my anxiety worse. And I even looked up on the side effects, and it does make anxiety worse for some people, but it's not as bad as it was. But yeah, it was really bad at first. So yeah, I just found this medication really hard because I wasn't able to keep still, and I wasn't able to concentrate because I was like so hyper and I was all over the show, and I found that really difficult because I just wanted to sit down but I couldn't. And like when I woke up in the mornings, literally I had to get up straight away because like I felt like I just had to get up and get ready, even though I wanted to just stay in bed, but I just felt like my body wouldn't let me keep still, so it was just horrible. But yeah, that's basically all the medications that I've been on and that I've tried, and the side effects. Like, I didn't get too many side effects. Like, I did experience like blurred vision when I started medication. I had a few nosebleeds, I had extreme hunger, like drowsiness, but like I didn't really get affected with like many side effects. So I know loads of people like they get worse side effects than me, but that's just my experience with the medications that I've tried. But yeah, so don't be afraid to try different medications because everyone will react differently to each medication. So just because like I experience some of these side effects, it doesn't mean you're gonna experience them as well, because everyone will be different. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video somewhat helpful, and I hope to see you all on my next video. Bye!